Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 7th episode of the Spread Podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Joe, and I'm here with George, Christian. We got a lot on the table today. You know, we're going to talk about some MLB, some of the Jays transactions. We're going to talk about some NHL. We're going to do our Olympic predictions, our forward predictions, so make sure you stick around till the end for that. It's very important. We think we got some hot takes, some maybe not so hot takes. So yeah, but without further ado, let's get started off. We're going to first start off with the MLB. The Jays making some big moves.
News.
Yeah.
Big news, yeah. What do you guys
100%.
think? You know, I like them, but I know some are maybe a bit controversial.
Oh, I want to start first of all about the most important thing, the whole thing, about the most important signing we've seen so far, and that's Dylan Cease. Obviously, it's a big deal. It's a lot of money, $30 million a year for 7 years, so 210 in total. Listen, on the surface, look at his numbers. They weren't that great last year with San Diego, but generally speaking, for the last couple of years, I'm pretty sure he's had the most strikeouts in the past 5 years, I believe, in the league.
Yeah. Him and
Gausman are number one and two.
Yeah.
And the Padres weren't the best defensive team, and the Jays were one of the better defensive teams last season. So I think he's going to do very, very well. I don't see why he would struggle. My only concern would be will we have a similar situation to Santander, as to they got his big deal and he comes to a new team, new ball club, and all of a sudden he starts to lose his abilities a little bit. But I like it a lot. I think it's very, very good. I want to hear the neutrals fans over there. I want to hear the neutral over there.
I think it's a good deal. Like, he's been a great pitcher so far for the Padres, but yeah, the Jays need to obviously resign Bichette. That's the number one priority.
100%, yeah.
I think that pitching is it's good to address that, and they also got that player from Korea, who's obviously played very well over there. So I think obviously Bichette's the number one priority, but you can't blame them for going out getting a good starting pitcher. So
that was something that I think they were prioritizing in this offseason, that and the Bichette deal. And I mean, again, we were saying it before off camera as many times, like the Jays need a number one ace because Gausman's getting older. He's going to leave soon. Obviously, Bassett's now gone. Barrios hasn't been the same early. We need a number one guy. And he's, for now, could be our number one guy for many years to come.
Yeah, I like the move. I think the only thing that I say is, like, it could be a bit of an overpay. But, you know, that was 100%. Ross Atkins' guy. He was waiting on him to be a free agent. So I like it. Personally, he's a strikeout guy.
100%.
I think he'll work really well with the Jays.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, maybe you can say, like, he might not be the ace next year. It'll probably be Gausman still.
Yeah, I think
it'll
so
be
too.
Gausman.
I think he'll be second in the rotation, and then you Savage,
and
then Bieber, and then the fifth guy is still up in the air. Today, actually, they just announced that Barrios is on the trading block.
Really?
Yeah. So he might get sent away maybe for, I don't know who, but maybe for another relief pitcher. I'm not sure. But they could also, remember, they have Eric Lauer still, who was really good last year as a starting pitcher.
And he's a lefty as well.
And he's a lefty,
the current rotation doesn't have.
So I think they might stick with Lauer as the fifth string.
I like that, actually.
Honestly, I would prefer if they do that rather than keep Barrios, because you move a guy who started his entire career into the bullpen, you don't know how he's going to react.
Exactly.
So, but, like, honestly, I also like the signing from the Korean guy, Cody Ponce. I like that move as well.
Yeah, at least pretty. I mean, his numbers look great. I mean, I'm not no baseball expert. I didn't watch the Korean Baseball League,
Me neither.
And I don't think any of us really did. But according to the numbers, I mean, he won the Korean Baseball MVP last year, 17-1, a sub-2 ERA. What's not to like about those numbers? Obviously, I know it's against Korean competition. It's obviously not the MLB guys,
Right.
but
it is.
It should translate relatively well. I'd assume.
I think it's good, and plus, I think it's flexible. You know, you can put him in the bullpen, or you can put him as a starter, right? You can
100%.
do whatever you need. He's used to playing long innings. It's just how he's going to be against MLB competition.
Exactly.
It's going to be really interesting.
Exactly.
Also, like, I think this means a lot with Bo Bichette. You know, the Jays have been active so far to you know, they've been active. Atkins has been active. Shapiro has been active. So if they can continue that, I think that's going to mean they might sign Bichette sooner than later, right? Like, if they can continue to shop and to look for guys, that's going to only heighten his interest in the Jays organization, I think.
I think so as well. Like, what they've done going out, giving that big contract to Cease, it shows like they have a commitment to spending and winning. So And this is unlike the Jays of the past, where like they're a bit reluctant to sign these big deals. So I think it's a good sign for the Blue Jays. I think it means that a Bo Bichette deal is on the way, and they can potentially run it back and win the World Series.
And they have the money.
They have it.
They have so much
They
money.
do
So
have it.
if they overpay Cease or overpay this guy Ponce, they have the money to.
Exactly.
But I like it. But, keeping on the topic of pitching signings, former Jay, Alek Manoah, signed with the Angels. Yep. He's looking for a restart somewhere.
I mean, he's got to get it somewhere. And, I mean, if there's any place to do it, why not be one of the teams that's kind of in the bottom of the barrel in the major leagues in the last couple of years or so? Honestly, I really hope it goes well for him because I really liked him when he was here. I actually got a signed baseball from him when he was here on the team, and he was unreal for those first couple of seasons. And then once the pitch clock came in, and it just completely demoralized his career almost. But I really hope that he finds his footing back, and I think it's a good opportunity for him. It's not much money too, so the risk is pretty low as well. I think it's a low risk move that can have a lot of upside in the future if he pans out.
Yeah, I agree. I remember one time I went to a game against Houston, and I was talking to him. It was during the NBA playoffs, and Miami was playing Philly. Yeah. I know he's from Miami, so I asked him, "Oh, who you got?" And I had talked to them for a bit. So I'm
very
glad
friendly
to see,
guy as well.
Yeah, really, really good guy.
Yeah.
Like I think he's gonna fit in really well with the Angels organization. But I'm glad to see him sign with someone. I hope he can pick back up where he left off with the Jays.
Yeah.
So, have a good bounce back, get back on the right track. Kind of like what we're seeing in the NFL right now with the Bills.
Yeah.
They had a big win this weekend. Christian, I'm sure you were pretty happy with that. What do you think?
I mean, it's an encouraging sign. Obviously, we didn't make Allen do much. Actually, the center of the game plan was around James Cook, which I was happy about. And I'm actually surprised because the previous few weeks, Bills fans, we've been used to some bad play calling from Joe Brady, and he just came in with a completely genius game plan. We're just going to run the ball down their throat, try to use James Cook, get Ray Davis back involved, get Ty Johnson, get the entire backfield involved. So I think it's a great sign. And, hey, we beat a pretty good team on the road. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, we've got some tough games remaining on the schedule, but it's a good sign going forward.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
100%.
You need to pile up as many wins right now as you can, right?
Yeah.
Because there are teams that are catching up, and even if you guys can get within like a game or two of the Patriots, I mean, you're not going to catch them now.
I don't think we're going to win the division.
Yeah, so. No, they're just.
But you just got to try and get into the playoffs, and you never know. Like I think the Bills can beat them in the playoffs. They have more experience.
I think we would beat the Patriots.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they definitely can because. Who do the Patriots? Like the Patriots are a great team. Don't get me wrong.
Inexperienced.
They're
inexperienced.
They're a good team.
If they have Tom Brady, that's a different conversation.
They don't have necessarily a weakness. The Patriots, it's just a lack of like star power. Like Drake May, he's not a top 5 quarterback yet, and they haven't. Their strength of schedule hasn't been that difficult. So they still have yet to been tested. They have a big game coming up against the Ravens and the Bills. So they just have to be tested more.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Those games will be huge for them.
Yeah,
very, very huge. Those are battle-tested teams who have obviously the Chiefs have won. Like, who knows how many Super Bowls the last couple of years, and obviously the Ravens have been a lot of deep playoff runs and played big playoff games a lot. So I'm very, very curious to see what happens with them. Speaking of a team that is struggling, or at least a quarterback room that is struggling a lot, are the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about McCarthy and how last year, it's crazy just to understand that last year they had Kirk Cousins, and they were one of the better teams in the NFC, and now they rely on the rookie they picked obviously that year, McCarthy, and he's looked
terrible.
Dare I say awful. He's been absolutely atrocious.
I think it shows that he benefited a lot from being on that Michigan team in college, and then he went to the NFL. His game just didn't translate. He's trying to rush around, doing too much, throwing really, really dumb interceptions. So, and he's out now. Max Brosmer came in. That was a disaster. Not a single point against the Seahawks.
I honestly rather have you two in the quarterback room than I would have McCarthy and the other guy.
Like
100%.
McCarthy is, I think he's a bust. It's just he hasn't shown like any signs of usually in their rookie year they'll show one or two things of development, and it's a process. He just hasn't shown at all that he can translate.
Just not,
well, normally as rookies you're supposed to I don't know. I find with rookies normally in all sports leagues you got to show what you can do, what your talents are. You can't play don't play out of your play your game. Play your game. Go in there, show your talents, and other stuff will come along as time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in Minnesota right now.
Yeah, it's very, very bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Very,
same
very
with the Chiefs, man. Like, what are they doing? The Chiefs, like they lost to who did they lose to again on
They
Thursday?
lost to Dallas, which is good.
Now, Dallas is a good team, but they lost.
That was my bet of the
come
night.
on,
That was a
man.
great- that was a great
Dallas
pick.
to cover plus 3.5. They
That was a
actually
great
won
pick.
outright, and it's not surprising because Dallas has been arguably the best offense this whole year. So
Yeah.
their stats show it, and the Chiefs, they're a team that I would not be surprised if they won out or they were 10-7. They snuck in to the last playoff spot, and then they played the Patriots in the 2-7.
And
My money is on the Chiefs all day to win that game.
Yeah,
Experience.
I
Andy
agree.
Reid and
I agree.
Mahomes,
100%.
they are Drake May is not.
Mahomes
taking
in the
down.
playoff game is not
no,
losing
no.
to Drake. No.
No. I mean, even if they're away in New England, like that, I don't think that matters. I mean, maybe if the weather is bad, but
They've shown they
still,
can win on the
like,
road.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Mahomes is, yeah.
I think the biggest test for the Pats will be the playoffs. Right now,
100%.
regular season, they can win out. They can have
Yeah.
a good regular season, but it's going to come down to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You see it all the times. Teams crumble when it comes to the big moments.
Yeah.
And is Drake May the next big star in New England? That won't be told until January.
He's got to live in the playoffs.
I don't think he'll ever reach like Burrow level or Lamar Jackson
No,
level. Like everyone's like, oh, he's the future. He's the next generation. No, I don't even think he deserves to win MVP this year. If I'm being honest.
Well,
He's had a good
you
season,
said it
but
a couple weeks ago.
their
Yeah.
strength of schedule
Yeah.
is not great.
Yeah.
They have not been tested enough to show that he is the MVP.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. George, I'm pretty sure you're pretty happy with your Chicago Bears.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
A big win against the Eagles.
I couldn't believe that.
Well, that
I
is
was very surprised
That
that
is
they
a
won.
huge win because they beat a team that has literally won the Super Bowl last year.
I know.
The reigning
Yeah.
Super Bowl champs.
In Philadelphia as well.
In Philly on Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
That is a huge game to win.
That was fantastic.
Against your division rival.
Yeah.
Like,
And we had,
I'm sure
no
you're
defense,
extremely
too.
happy right now. The
Oh,
Bills.
no, I was very,
The
it was
Bills,
very
man,
good.
they're or not the Bills, sorry, the Bears. Oh, got them mixed up. The Bears, they're playing some good ball right now.
They're doing pretty well. They surprised a lot of people, including myself. I did not think they would be here right now, honestly. Right now, we're currently tied, a three-way tie right now with the Bears, Seahawks, and the Rams for the top of the NFC, obviously to get all the buys for the playoffs. Let's see how everything goes. Again, I don't want to call this frauds, but we haven't been in this predicament in a long, long time, and we have a very young team. Obviously first-year head coach. So I'm very excited for what's going to transpire in the playoffs and for the next couple of games here. Obviously, I know we had the Packers on the weekend, and
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure it's at Lambeau.
It's
Field.
at
They
Lambeau.
could win that game, man.
I know
They could. I wouldn't be surprised.
I know we play them twice from now towards the end of the season. So those are obviously big divisional games for us, and we'll see what happens from here. But regardless of what happens, I think for me in terms of the playoffs for the Bears this year, as long as if they get there, it's a win for me because most people, and I think you guys can agree here, did not expect the Bears to be in this predicament at all.
I didn't expect them to
I
be in
didn't
the
do the
playoffs,
playoffs at all.
let alone at the top.
Yeah. So if they get the playoffs and if they win a game, I think that's a very big victory
The
for me.
Bears are a young team. They're a young team, yes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Young quarterback.
Same with the Pats. You get the experience.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
make it there. That's what you need, and then you can build on that. Maybe
Exactly,
Maybe
yeah.
once
Exactly.
you have the teams that are that have their window open right now. Once they move out, then they can have other teams start to move in, and you can really start to pick up, gain that momentum, and win games. Now that you have experience.
Yeah.
And I think that really matters, right?
Yeah. 100%.
So, that's going to do it for NFL. We're going to move on now to the NBA. Some Raptors wins, some losses. I think they've been playing pretty well lately.
Yeah.
But they've lost, 2 in a row now? Did they win? No, they won
They
last
won
night.
last night, but then
They won
before
last
that, they
night.
lost 2 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, but, they're back on the right track. They
Back
had
on
a
the
big
right
game
track,
against
yeah.
Portland.
Yeah.
George, did you
Yeah.
watch the game last night?
I didn't watch the full thing. I did watch towards the end because I was a bit nervous. I'm like, there's no way we're going to lose at home to Portland. Come on. We're not that bad of a team, but they pushed through. Again, typical from the same mold. Ingram, Barnes, You know, the typical crew. They're kind of doing their thing, and they're meshing well in Darko's system, and they're playing pretty well. Obviously, they have a big game tomorrow against the Lakers, with the Hornets on Friday, and then of course, the big one is their quarterfinal game against the New York Knicks in the NBA Cup. I really hope they win that tournament. I don't think they will, but I really hope they do.
It's just the NBA Cup. Come on.
I know,
Come on, man.
I'm not.
It's not the championship.
It'd be really cool to see them win that. I'll tell you.
It would be cool, but like
cool,
they're not gonna have a parade.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's not that big of a
It's
deal.
not. It's nowhere close to actually winning that
100%.
long.
I don't even know
playoff
why
NBA
they added
champion.
it. Honestly,
Honestly,
like,
yeah, it's
why did
kinda
they add it? Like,
Money.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but
Adam
like,
Silver.
I don't
Silver.
understand. Look, it'd be cool if the Raptors win, but you know, it's keeping on topic of the Raptors.
It's mostly just a morale booster for whoever wins it through the rest of the
I mean,
season.
but you say that, but who won last year? The Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they did not.
Exactly. Yeah, they got bounced in the first round by the Pacers.
That's why I'm saying it's just a morale boost. It's not necessarily an indicator of future success. That's more what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really love the idea because I feel like it just makes it. You know, I'm gonna be honest. We talk about this in baseball, like tension and playing high intensity intense innings, and how it can toll pitchers more than it does like a 1-2-3 inning. You know, it's the same for basketball. If you're playing high-intensity games like the NBA Cup Finals or the quarterfinals, it'll probably put a lot more stress on the players than a regular season game would, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but you know, the Raptors, they've been without RJ Barrett for the last couple of games, and you know they lost 2, but now they're back on the right track. I mean, I think it's a big loss with RJ.
Oh, I mean,
of course.
You can see it right away. They lost again, like you said before. They lost 2 prior to yesterday's game, and they had to squeak out a win yesterday against a team that's been a bottom feeder team for a while now.
Yep.
You can tell it's evident that they really miss him, and they really are missing his presence on the court right now.
Yeah, but RJ's such a two-way threat, man. Like
exactly,
it sucks that he's not. It sucks that he's not there, but. You know, they got the guys holding it down. They got IQ with a big night last night.
Yeah.
He's looking like a starting point guard in the NBA. They got, you know, Scotty playing well. Scotty Barnes actually won Defensive Player of the Month.
I did see that,
which is, you know,
Deserved.
pretty impressive. Like, honestly,
he's been very good, yeah.
I think that shows, like, how good that draft class was. I think it was 2022, right?
2021.
Was the Cunningham...
2021, yeah.
2021,
Green,
yeah.
Mobley.
Cunningham, yeah.
No, that was the year after.
Yeah, so Mobley,
Yeah.
Cunningham, and Barnes are 3 of the best players.
In
They're
the top
leading their
4,
teams right now.
Yeah.
To high level positions in the East, and the Pistons have been playing great ball too.
Oh, we know the Pistons there.
You know,
out, yeah.
You know, we're talking about young stars. I really like what I'm seeing from Tyrese Maxey in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think he's averaging almost 33 points.
Yeah, he's averaging around 32 and a half. He's been, and that whole Philadelphia team has surprised me this year. I expected them, maybe they'll sneak back in considering Embiid's health.
Yeah.
Depending on that, they'll be around the 6th seed, but they've been really impressive, and I think they could be a legit contender to go out of the East.
He is dragging them out. You
think to bring them to the? You think they could go to the finals?
If
legit.
Embiid's healthy, McCain's healthy.
See, but I don't know what we can expect from Embiid though. Like I feel like even though he's healthy, what are we gonna get from him? Like one night you could get 35 and 15, and another night you could get like
even if he's not
20
producing points, obviously
7.
his size he helps creates rebounds.
True, good point.
So
but
he's still an effective player, whatever role he wants to take. If Maxey wants to take the point scoring role, he can still take.
I think it just shows,
role.
man. They got to start building around Tyrese Maxey.
Oh, of course.
You know him and Edgecombe and Edwards.
Yeah.
You got to start building around those
Great
3.
Backcourt.
Yeah.
Young
Then
backcourt
you're gonna start seeing real improvement in Philly.
Yeah.
Instead of building around Embiid, that guy. You know, I'm sorry, Embiid's a great player and all, but
it's time's up.
Yeah.
It's time's
he's
up.
not the player that he used to be. He's not an MVP anymore. You know, he's not at that level. I mean, maybe if he can like kind of bounce off the success of Maxey and become kind of like a Robin.
I don't think he can do that.
I don't think he'll ever be in an MVP conversation again, but I think he can still be a really good player.
I agree.
No, definitely does. He's definitely a great player, but I think his ego's too large for him to
be that second guy.
Yeah,
I agree.
He doesn't fit that role. Funny. And for me, he's not suitable for the playoffs.
Yeah, it was funny when Harden left Philly. Embiid said, "It feels like there's no more ego in the locker room."
Yeah,
and it feels like Embiid has always been that guy.
Embiid is the guy.
Yeah, I don't know. like,
I don't know.
not to poke the bear in Embiid, but just putting it out there.
I can see them winning a round because again they've been playing pretty well.
I could see
Maxey
conference finals. They're not my first choice, but I could see a conference finals run. Just the East is just so open.
That's okay. I'm not against that, but for me, Embiid, I just don't see anything in terms of like a playoff performer. We've seen over the years, like sometimes the Sixers get put in big game situations, or they get up in a series against a good team, and they just crumble. And Embiid's the head of the ship, and you got he's accountability for it. But they
didn't even make conference finals yet with Embiid, did they?
No.
The Atlanta Hawks did. Yeah, Trae Young,
and they beat them.
That was
wow.
Yeah.
Again, it's just inability to lead the ship. He's not that kind of he's not that kind of guy. He's not a playoff performing guy, and they're never going to win with him.
Who did the Hawks lose to that year in the conference finals?
The Bucks.
And
they won the chip that year. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, that was a good finals. But you know who made the finals that year? Chris Paul, and he lost. And now Suns, the Clippers just dropped Chris Paul.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with them? That is crazy.
I got to tell
that's
you, go ahead.
Really weird. I did not expect that. They could have at least maybe traded, but I think obviously the Clippers have just been a dumpster fire to start the year.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And they had to do something. He just wanted out that badly. They couldn't work any trades out
they said they're sending him home. Have you ever heard that in any professional sports? I've never heard that in my
I don't know
10
what
years
that
of
means.
watching
Is he
sports.
going back to the Rockets? Is he going?
He's heading home. Like, what does that mean?
I actually saw a quote or a tweet from Shams before we came in here today, and he mentioned that apparently it was due to a disconnect and a verbal disagreement between Tyronn Lue, head coach, and Chris Paul. And it got to a point where they weren't on talking terms for weeks at a time.
Wow.
And that's what caused this whole thing. So, listen, I don't care what coach is in charge of your organization. I don't care who runs your organization. All right? Chris Paul is or once was, not right now obviously, once was the face of your franchise. Yep. He's one of the most legendary point guards in the league has ever seen. You do not drop that guy in his farewell tour just for the sake of doing it because of a coach disagreement. Never. I'm sorry. You do not do that.
You know, man, Tyronn Lue, like, he got carried in 2016.
I was about to say, he's the most overrated coach in the league.
He got carried by LeBron. He comes to the Clippers. What did he do with the Clippers?
Nothing.
Nothing. Literally nothing.
A conference final.
You have some of the best. You have some of the best players in the world on your team. You have James Harden, who's still putting up good numbers. You have Kawhi, who put up 36 the other night. Maybe he's not going to maintain that, but you could still do something with the offensive and defensive abilities that those players have.
Zubac is a great player.
Zubac is a great player. Yeah,
that's interesting. What they'll do with Zubac. Do you want to actually keep him and build around him, or do you ship him out and just go completely?
I don't think they're gonna send him out. I honestly don't see that happening because the Clippers are so like.
I don't know what's happened. Like
they are.
Everything collapsed once they made that trade for Paul George. And that was the condition that Kawhi Leonard would come to the team. And then since the Kawhi era, they've just done nothing.
Hey, man.
Injuries have been a big problem for them.
And not to mention as well, the Clippers pick is going to Oklahoma City this year.
Oh god.
So even if they want, think about this. Even if they want to tank and if they want to be bad and they want to start selling at the deadline, trade with their big guys,
there's no benefit.
There's no benefit.
You know, I hope if Chris Paul goes to any team, I hope he goes to OKC.
At least he gets a championship.
Maybe he gets a ring. Maybe he gets a ring. I need him to get a ring.
He deserves a ring.
The point guard deserves a ring.
100%.
And you know, we're talking about OKC, talking about how good they're doing this year. I think they're 21-1 right now. Yeah, and they just got J-Dub back. How's he been playing, Christian? I know you're like the OKC specialist. Yes. How have you found Jalen Williams, his injuries? How do you find he's been adapting so far to the system?
I think he's been great because the team chemistry has just been flawless. Like, that's the reason. Like, we're not like a super team like the Warriors. We have more of a system that Daganol has set up, and in that system,
you are a super team.
Not in the way that like the Warriors built their super team. Like, not like they brought in Durant
with stars.
Yeah,
you're a super team with a legit
with
super
a system.
Team. Yeah.
So that's why I say like we're not in the way the Warriors were. So in that system, Williams has been a great defensive player. That's what we're getting out of him. Guy who's reliably scoring 15 or 20 points a night.
Yeah.
Can take on that higher scoring role even if needed. But that's been Shea most of the season. So he's fit in. He's done his role within the system, and there's really no complaints for me with him.
Hey, man, he's a three-way scorer. It's good to see him back, but I think that's going to really, now that he's back, I am really interested to see how OKC does. Like, can they continue the pace they're on? I don't know if they do.
No, but
Like,
I think they'll be close. I don't like if they go through like this whole pace through the whole season, they finish with 5 losses.
Well, yeah, but
I think they'll have more than 5 losses, but I think they'll be close. I think they can win probably low 70s, 71 even, 72.
Yeah,
I think they can do it.
They could, but it's really going to be like injuries.
Health
you know,
even with injuries, I think it wouldn't.
Guys,
we've dealt with
know,
injuries so far, and we've only lost
really
one.
Good. Yeah. The system is really good. I agree, but
it just becomes the next man up thing. Okay, a guard gets injured, we have Wallace on the bench. We have Caruso.
AJ Mitchell has also been playing fantastic.
AJ Mitchell's been amazing.
Yeah.
We'll see we'll see what happens, but yeah, I'd be very surprised if they don't win 70+ games if no one gets injured from now on.
Yeah.
Or at least like minor injuries.
I think Shea is the one guy.
Shea
is the guy. If you lose Shea,
that's a problem.
The rails are gonna fall off. I think.
Yeah.
He's a mold to the team in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kind of like a guy that we might be seeing getting traded soon. Giannis Antetokounmpo. You know. He might be heading out. I don't think he's going to because we see this story every single year that they just they keep producing this narrative that Giannis is going to request a trade and all that, and it's like, oh yeah, the Bucks just end up like 6th in the East.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen with Giannis?
I honestly have no clue because the organization for me has been honestly since they lost the 8-1 seeded matchups against the Heat a couple years ago, when eventually they traded Drew Holiday to acquire Dame. And then they traded Middleton, of course, a couple more years later. They hired that new coach from the Raptors, and then they fired him after they were playing well for Doc Rivers. Like, they've had a lot of really, really stingy and just unlogical decisions that they've been making in that front office when it comes to coaching staff and trades and acquisitions. I just don't. It hasn't been going well, and now they're in a predicament where they're in, and they're not doing very well. They're out of a playoff spot right now. And their star players is disgruntled right now. I don't know where they go from here. And honestly, you may just have to just say, you know what, screw it, trade him, get as much stuff as you can from him to a team who's hungry.
I don't think they're going to trade him. I think they're scared to trade him.
Who would even have the pieces?
Like, that's the only thing. You can't really trade him.
I mean, some teams do have the pieces to trade.
It'd be really hard. It'd be really hard.
Teams do have the pieces. Like you look at. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, and I really hope this doesn't happen. A team like OKC,
we could
has the pieces.
They do.
But the thing is, does OKC sacrifice?
I feel like team? OKC could, but they'll have the mentality like if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
That's why we could offer.
I don't think they should. Honestly, I don't think they should.
Yeah.
Like maybe I don't know who could trade for.
If we have to break up our big three to do it, it's definitely not worth it.
Maybe. I'm trying to think who has the pieces like. Raps?
No. Maybe with a lot of capital. With more capital than players, maybe we can.
Like picks.
Another team I was thinking the reverse of that, without the capital, but more with players, would be the Magic, because you have a lot of young guys, a lot of young wing guys, and maybe if they trade Franz and like a Black or Suggs, and like one more player.
How about the Hawks? Trae Young?
With some capital, and maybe like a Ricochet
I
don't
think
Dyson Daniels,
they want to trade Trae Young.
I don't think they want to trade the young guys either as well.
They'd have to give up Ricochet.
I don't know. Like Young has been good, but he hasn't.
It has to be the young players.
Right?
Young has been good.
Giannis needs that guy around him, or else you're kind of putting him into the same situation.
I agree. I agree with that. But how about like I don't know. I don't see maybe New York. We've heard that a lot before. Maybe the Knicks could trade for him.
They could, but again, they also.
But who are they going to trade?
A lot of picks
OG
to for Bridges.
OG, they're going to send away OG probably or Bridges.
Probably both.
They have to add one of them.
To get Giannis, probably both of them.
Yeah,
so
but
who knows? But it's just not a good situation in Milwaukee.
No,
right now.
no, not for him either. You know, he's
lose-lose.
He's one of the best players in the league, one of the best players of this generation.
100%. Yeah.
Get him on a winning team right now, or
or it's going to leave him for agency. It's it.
Yeah.
They're trying to
get him for nothing.
Work or
when's his contract up? Next year?
I think it's in a few more years. I'm not really sure when it is, but I think there's still some time. But I mean, if he's disgruntled now, and he's not playing
I think
well,
it's now or never. They
later,
have to choose a direction for that team.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to figure it out quick.
I agree 100%. But yeah, let's move on to the NHL, boys, shall we? So, the East has been kind of a bloodbath. Like, no real team has been separating themselves from the rest of the pack yet, at least. But the Lightning have really been picking up recently.
Yeah, they've really been on a roll as of late because they didn't start the season very well. And obviously the Atlantic for a while was a bit of a frenzy as to who was in the top, and it was kind of all kind of crazy. I'm not going to put it lightly. It's been a bit of a crazy start for the entirety of the Atlantic Division so far. And they've been playing very, very well as of late without the likes of Hedman, without the likes of Eric Cernak and Ryan McDonough. They've been looking very, very good. Without these key defenders, Vasilevsky has been standing on his head and looking like his old self. And obviously, we mentioned, we will mention Braden Point later on in the Olympic predictions. He has not been playing very well, but they have the likes of Kucherov and Gensel and Hagel have really taken the load offensively.
Yeah,
and they've been looking very, very good despite having their key defensemen. And it's surprising considering how they started. But again, it just goes to show how strong John Cooper has been and how strong he is as a head coach, and he's been their coach for almost 11 years now.
Yeah, well, I think they're a good team, but they lost last night to the Isles.
They did. That is true as well.
Vasilevsky had a good game, but they couldn't score to save their lives. So, I don't doubt the Lightning. Like, I know they're a good team. They have star power, so I think that they're gonna, continue to make the playoffs. But it's just gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna do in the playoffs if they can actually contend.
They've lost in the first round 3 years in a row now.
Yeah. I don't know. Their cup window has probably come to a close. Like, just
I agree. Yeah.
Florida's probably going to get into a wild card spot, and that's going to be tough for them.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose to the Montreal Canadiens. That's what
I don't know.
We'll get whooped by Ivan Demidov.
I don't know about that.
Marty St. Louis lace them up, play hockey.
They're also struggling with some injuries right now. So
yeah, they are.
We have to see them at full health. Hagel's obviously stepped up, returned to that level of production. Gensel's been great. Kucherov. Yeah, they've got a lot of star power in their forward core.
And again, without half of the regular defensemen, they've been playing well. Considering it's honestly shocking.
But you know who is playing better than any other team in the league right now, and it's not even close.
No,
the Avalanche.
They're scary.
They're gonna win the cup.
No,
come on now, let's be real. They're gonna win the cup.
I don't.
No. You don't think
it'll be hard to see who stops them.
Yeah, who's gonna stop them, Christian?
It'll be hard to see who stops them.
Mathematically, it's them or the field, and I think they're bound to mess up at one point.
That's true.
We've seen they've won one Stanley Cup in an era, which I think they should have won at least 2 or 3. So I think they usually struggle against the Dallas Stars. I think if we get that matchup, we've seen it a lot where it's like this big President's Trophy team against like a really good second seed, and then all of a sudden come playoff time, the President's Trophy curse kicks in. True. And we've seen Dallas beat Colorado twice.
They're playing so well right now, man. I think it's gonna be really hard to stop them. But
it's really interesting.
I'm really gonna be interested with them and Dallas. Those are the two teams that I'm really keeping
and I actually think Dallas is gonna win that in 7.
That's gonna go 7. I think we can all agree on that.
That might be my hot take, but I think Dallas is my cup pick right now.
Okay, I can respect that. They got a strong team. It's just gonna be, can they stay healthy? Can Dallas stay healthy?
I like their bottom six a bit
Sagan's
better.
out for the season.
Yeah, I just
That's
saw that.
tough.
Yeah. And Duchesne has been out so far, and like, if they can't stay healthy, then it's gonna be really, really hard.
Of course,
for them
but I think
100%.
when they're healthy, they've got those guys in their bottom 6 that really could be impact second line players. When Miro Heiskanen's at the top of his game, he's probably a top 5 defenseman in this league.
100%. At least top 10 minimum. He's so underrated.
And the thing with the Avalanche is they've got great goaltending so far in the regular season.
Yeah.
Can Wedgwood or Blackwood step? We know who Ottinger is in the playoffs. He's proven himself. He can play hard in the playoffs. So I think there's a few more question marks for the Avalanche than I have for Dallas. That's why I have Dallas.
That's definitely one of my question marks is the goaltending for sure.
Yeah. But Dallas is always everyone's cup pick, man. It's like they do the same thing. It's the same story every year.
True.
Let's make it to the conference finals. Let's play the Oilers and let's get whooped by Connor McDavid.
I still can't comprehend what happened, how badly things went. They just lost in 5 to the Oilers.
I know.
They should have won that series. Talent-wise on paper in 5 or 6.
Hey, man. Stuart Skinner, man. That's all I'm going to say. Stuart Skinner. Who should be traded right now. I'm sorry. But
he should be waived.
I think he's a great player, but I think he is not. He's not He's not the guy anymore.
Great player
it's a
and Stuart
disaster.
Skinner in the same sentence is the craziest thing I've heard today.
Yeah, no,
He's
I
not a great
wouldn't go
player.
that far.
Trade for Jordan Binnington. You know, get a guy who's won a couple. I know Jordan Binnington's had a rough start to the season, but you need a goalie who has experience, who can win you some games. Just trade for someone.
Anything's better. Even if they went and traded for Tristan Jarry, I genuinely believe that's a good. Tristan Jarry's had a great team. No,
boy. Tristan Jarry,
what's funny
crazy.
is that he's had an amazing season. He's over a .910 average.
He's doing good this season, I know.
Crazy. That is crazy.
He cannot be worse than Stuart Skinner.
That's
trade for Artur Seelov.
No, Shelov's has been. He's fallen off. He's been quite bad.
Really, yeah.
Jarry's been our guy.
Trade for Lankinen, the guy on or Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, the guy on Buffalo. How's he been?
Luukkonen will be interesting.
How's been Ukko-Pekka
Luukkonen?
I don't know. I don't think it would be a bad trade if they traded for Tristan Jarry. He's playing good in the break.
I just don't
you
think
have
he has
to
the
get to the playoffs.
But he doesn't have the experience.
He has some
And
experience.
his salary's pretty big too, and their cap
He's
stuff.
played
against the Islanders. I know you remember that.
It cannot be worse than trying the same thing every single year.
I agree.
Give him a shot. Stuart Skinner's shown he's not the guy. You're not going to win a cup with him.
I'm not against that idea. I do like the Binnington idea. Another name that I've seen circling around a little bit was UC Saros, if he wants to waive his no move.
Yeah, but that's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a lot harder to do.
Will Nashville trade him? Like,
it's going to be a lot harder to do.
I think they would.
Because you're going to have to add something to that. Like, there's going to be picks in that involved, right? There's going to be...
That's true, yeah. It's going to be a lot of pieces. Maybe Savoy would go the other way.
Or Howard.
But
I don't know. I think they would do Skinner, picks, and then maybe
one of the two.
Savoy or Howard. Not both.
Sure.
Not both.
No,
I don't think Saros
maybe one of the two.
that much.
And I don't think Brady Trust is that intelligent of a man to trade to get both of them in a trade anyway. So
yeah,
I don't trust that guy's abilities at all. But they definitely need to figure it out because they're not looking good right now, and they keep on losing.
It's really bad.
They keep on giving.
They need to
build
build for the future, man. They need to build for the future. Send away Stamkos. Send away your guys who you signed in the free agency last year. Ryan O'Reilly, send them away.
Yeah,
put them on some cup contending teams.
Just blow it up.
Yeah.
Blow it up.
I don't understand.
Rebuild.
It's been two seasons in a row. You're dealing with the same bottom feeder after a pretty decent wild card season. They showed like they had some potential. People were claiming they won free agency that year. I don't know what happened that they fell off.
They
so
saw
hard.
that success that they got that one season, and they thought, oh yeah, we're there, we can do it. Just add all these guys and we're good.
And it didn't work
out.
And
that just proves to you that sometimes coaches going to management doesn't work out well.
Yeah,
that's a perfect example
good
of
point.
it.
That's a really good point. You know, I think let's stay in the Central Division, and we'll talk about a Canadian team that hasn't been doing too great lately is the Winnipeg Jets. You know, we know Hellebuck is out for I think 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is as big of a loss as you're going to get in the
100%.
NHL. You know, like
they have to play in front of Eric Comrie for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect Eric Comrie. I like the guy. All right, he seems like a really nice guy.
That's going to be a real challenge, especially when they haven't got it going as a team. The depth, Scheifele's had a good season. Connor's been pretty good. Morrissey's obviously usually great offensively,
He's unreal.
Apart from that core players, they just don't have the depth that showed up last year.
Yeah,
it's just not there.
That's a good point.
That spark is just not there.
I think to be honest, it all relies on Hellebuck. We see it in the playoffs. We see it in the regular season.
Well, the playoffs.
No, but I'm saying when Hellebuck plays bad, they play bad. You know, Hellebuck 100%. Is the telling tale of that team.
Right.
If they have him, they will probably do well.
Yeah,
they could win a cup. They have a really good team. They have Scheifele. They have Morrissey.
They have all the right
they have
pieces.
Ehlers. No, they don't have Ehlers anymore.
Too.
They have Connor. They have Adam Lowry. They have Velarde. They have a good team, but it's just all about how Hellebuck plays, right?
Exactly.
So
losing him is rough, but
huge.
I'm sure when he gets back, they're going to be just fine, and they're going to make the playoffs again.
He was a Hart Trophy winner last year. He was a Vezina Trophy winner.
Oh yeah.
And I think a guy who's been in Hart Trophy talks this year is Connor Bedard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's been playing some great hockey.
Absolutely unreal.
He's been literally carrying the Blackhawks.
He's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He is so good, that kid, and he's 20 years old. He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
And he's doing this already.
He's our age.
Yeah.
He's our age.
That's crazy.
Insane.
That's crazy to think about.
Like he's been absolutely unreal, and he's single-handedly dragging the Hawks into a situation where they're not too far away from the playoffs in a year where we all thought they would be nowhere close there, and they've been the bottom 3 or 4 again. Same with San Jose and Celebrini.
Yeah,
they've been
similar story.
They've been similar story.
They're in a playoff spot for now.
Right now. Oh my god.
And
but I think it's kind of different with San Jose because San Jose has a group of young guys who are playing really well. They have a lot more prospects and a lot more talent.
Yeah. And again, kudos to management there because they've been.
But Chicago literally said, okay, here you go, Bedard. Here's the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you anything else. Okay, you get Tyler Bertuzzi on your line. That's it. And then he goes out there and he does this. Like, it's unheard of.
Yeah.
And I have mad respect for him. He's been playing a great year. That goal that he scored last night against the Knights was
that was
wicked.
What a shot.
That was wicked. That goal, this goal against the Ducks.
Get him on the Olympic team. Get him on the Olympic team.
He has to be a lock at this point. If they don't put him on the Olympic team, I don't know what they're thinking.
Oh, 100%.
I agree.
Absolutely has to be there. There's no way he cannot be there.
I agree 100%. And same comes for Celebrini.
He has to be on that team. 40 points as a 19-year-old.
They're both
defensively
both
responsible. So I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
One thing I do gotta say is that I feel like this year we're starting to see a real shift in terms of the faces of the league. This is the real first year that we're seeing that in terms of both goaltending and forwards. I think again we mentioned Celebrini and Bedard. They're really carrying the forwards and the wave of the new era of forwards and top forwards in the league. Schaefer and Hudson, I think, are the new era of the two key defensemen in the battle out for the Norris Trophy, as we mentioned before in previous episodes.
Yeah.
And I think I want to go back to the goaltending. I mentioned it last week about Jesper Wallstedt on the Wild. He obviously he got another shutout yesterday against the Oilers. Yep. Askarov's been playing really, really well. Spencer Knight right now is probably in the top of the running right now for the Vezina Trophy.
Yeah.
Like, the new era's here. It's arrived, and they're slowly taking over the league. And these young kids are just playing unreal right now at the minute.
Yeah, I agree. That's I think it really says a lot. But I wouldn't say when it comes to winning the cup and all that.
Oh no, that's
still a ways away.
Yeah, they still need to build a team around these players.
In terms of talent,
the new faces of the league are arriving in their first year of really showing hey, we're here. You know what I mean? And this is the start of a new era.
Before we move on to our Olympic forward predictions, I want to talk about the Habs really quick because they have been. I'm not gonna lie, they won a 3-game win streak against I forget who exactly where the teams were. It was Toronto. Then someone else, and then they beat Vegas in Vegas. Oh, they beat Utah in Utah. So they beat Toronto, Utah, and then Vegas, and then they go to Colorado. They get whooped by the Avs 7-2.
Expected.
And then okay. And then they go to last night. They played Ottawa and they lose 5-2. Just a terrible game, man.
Yeah.
The defense has to wake up, cover your guy in front of the net. Play Ivan Demidov more. Like, what the hell are they doing, man? I don't understand what's going on. And you gotta get a save. Sam Montembeault,
I'm not putting the number one issue.
I'm not putting it on Dobish. He's too young. I'm not blaming him.
No, and you can't ask him to go out and basically cover up all the terrible games Montembeault has had.
Yeah.
You can't put all that pressure on a young goaltender.
Exactly.
You have to have that tandem, and that's why they've struggled.
Yeah.
Their goaltending has not been good at all.
No, last year Montembeault had a great year. Such a good year, man.
It's surprising.
And this year he's just fallen off an absolute cliff.
Yeah.
So I don't think he makes it to the Olympics. No chance.
No chance.
No shot. But
him and Skinner, no chance.
No.
They're done.
No way.
We can write them off.
Yeah.
100%.
And let's move on to the Olympic lines. I think what everyone's been waiting for the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
So with that being said, George, you want to start us off with your lines?
I may as well. Okay, so my first line. Okay, honestly, one thing I will say: for the first two lines can both be first lines because I don't really know how they're going to do it. But my first line, as I have written down here, would be Celebrini, McDavid, and Mitch Marner. McDavid and Marner were on the same line. Obviously, they were the ones who created the game, the trophy-winning goal in the Four Nations in the final, of course, in overtime. And I think Celebrini, again, we mentioned earlier, he's been 40 points in 20-something games. He's been absolutely killing it. Why not throw him out there with the best of the best? And then for my second line, going on the same kind of idea, I have Crosby with McKinnon and Bedard. Again, Bedard's been playing absolutely lights out this year. Another guy who's 40 points in 20-something games. And why not have these two young new studs who have really taken over the league with the guys who have been doing it for the last couple of years now, right? So I think that line, I think those two first lines can be interchangeable, depending on matchups and who they're going to play against, especially against the Americans with Eichel and Matthews at their centers. But those two for sure are interchangeable, and they're both very, very good lines in my opinion. And then for my third and my fourth line, I've got more for chemistry reasons, having guys who've played on the same teams, because obviously that was a major theme in the team in the Four Nations, and I think we're going to see that again this time. I have Hagel with Point and Mark Stone as my third line, keeping the 10 guys together, keeping Stone a guy who was obviously at the Four Nations last year. And then fourth line, I have Marchand and Reinhart on either side of Nick Suzuki in the middle. Again, Suzuki, a great two-way player. And again, Marchand and Reinhart, they both won the Cup last year on the same team. And they were both there last year, and they're both key contributors to the team last year. So I don't see...
Who do you have as your extras?
Extras? Oh, I forgot about the extras. Thank you for reminding me. I have Seth Jarvis as one of my extras. I again, Olympic ice, more fast-paced players. He's got a great shot on him as well. I think he'll be very, very good as well.
The Olympic ice might be 3 to 4 feet smaller.
Really?
You didn't hear about that?
I didn't hear about that.
I didn't hear about that either.
So they messed
They're
it up.
shrinking.
They messed it up, yeah.
Okay, well, scrap that. Jarvis, then. I want to go for Tom Wilson instead of him, because we do need some physical brute and physical force in that team, especially against the Americans who want to fight a lot. And then my other extra is Mark Scheifele, 200-foot player, captain, leader. You want to have a guy like that.
Captain.
Go into the team.
Assistant captain. Adam Lowry's the captain.
Sorry, yes.
How can you forget about Adam Lowry?
I keep on forgetting about that. I always forget that he's the captain.
It's one of the weirdest captaincies
That's like the Brian
in the NHL.
Gianta captain
like that.
there.
I always forget.
Such a weird captaincy.
Yeah.
It
Anyways,
is.
Joe,
it
let's go to your team over here.
So for the first line, I mean, again, this is 1A, 1B for my team. I'm going with McKinnon and Stone on the side of Sidney Crosby. I think that's all that has to be said.
Yeah.
I like Stone. He's been having a good year, although he's only played limited games. He's been putting up about 2 points per game, and you know what he's going to do. He's going to get some takeaways. He's going to play a defensive game. He's a great offensive forward as well.
Yeah.
I like that line a lot. Sid and McKinnon, that nothing has to be said about that, really.
Yeah.
And then for my 1B line, I'm going with McDavid centering Marner on the left and Reinhart on the right.
Okay.
I'm putting Reinhart there because I think with two playmakers like McDavid and Marner, that could open up his scoring ability a bit more. And, he could play kind of like a Zach Hyman role, right? Get in front of the net, get the loose pucks. That's the role I'm expecting him to play. And let's not forget, him and McDavid do have chemistry, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they played together, but I think they might have played together in World Juniors. I'm not 100% sure, though. But I know they've known each other for a little while now, and I like that line with Marner as well because, again, as you said, they got the tournament-winning goal in the Four Nations. So
McDavid,
I love that line, honestly. I like the playmaking. I like the scoring. And, McDavid can take over at times, too.
Yeah.
And then for my third line, I have Nick Suzuki centering Celebrini and Bedard.
That's interesting.
I think that is going to be an elite two-way line. You have Suzuki and Celebrini as elite two-way forwards, and you have Connor Bedard, one of the best scorers in the league right now, goal scorers and point getters. I think that is a
fun line.
shutdown.
The only thing that concerns me about that is the size.
Yeah. I agree. I do agree.
That's a really fun line.
But with that being said, Suzuki has been throwing his body around. I watch almost every Habs game, and recently I've seen it. Suzuki has been really hitting a lot lately. He's been showing his physicality and how he can be that guy on a line as well. I think that is such an elite line. I don't know if you could that might be one of the best lines in the tournament. If I were to you have elite two-way forwards, and you have guys who can take face-offs. Each of them can take face-offs. Yeah. I really like it. And then for my fourth line, I have Scheifele in between Hagel and Wilson. Again, Hagel can have a physical presence, and Wilson, we know that he can have that physical presence as well. He's probably going to score 30 goals against this season, Wilson, so I like him.
Yeah.
And you need someone to combat the Tkachuk brothers.
Yeah.
And a guy like McAvoy. You need someone to be physical on the team. So, Scheifele, he has to make the team at this point. Him and Suzuki have to make the team.
Should at least be on the plane 100%.
Yeah.
He's too good to not be there.
And then for my extras, I'm going with Marchand and Point. Point hasn't had a great season, but he's already on the team.
He has to.
So you can't really say much about that. And then Marchand, experienced, cup winner 2 times. Yeah. So not much more else to be said about him. And he could really... If he needs to fill in for a guy like Hagel, maybe, or literally anyone on the team. I think this is the best forward group that they can go with, and I think this is the best forward group in the tournament by a landslide. I don't think it's close.
Yeah, I agree. I think Canada has definitely the forwards. USA is probably more on the defensive side. So based on that, I'll give my lines. I've got Macklin Celebrini. He's just been exceptional, like generational for sure. I don't think I've ever seen someone come out in their second year play this good. Since Crosby, nobody's really played this good in their second year, defensively responsible. So I think he's earned the right to be on that first line. Then I'm going to have McDavid centering that line, obviously. And then I'm going to have Mitch Marner on that line to get some playmaking. And then I will have Marchand, Crosby, and McKinnon on the second line. The Nova Scotia connection.
I like that too.
We have to have that. Crosby and McKinnon have to be in the top 6.
Yeah.
Marchand's had a great season at his age. And then in the bottom 6, I'm going to go with Mark Stone. He has to be there. Great two-way forward. Can score points. He had a great season before he was injured. Now he's back. And then Bedard, who has to be on the team after the season he's been having. And then I'm going to put Mark Scheifele on the wing of that line. Great 200-foot players, producing a lot around the top 10-ish in league scoring. And then for the last line, I'm going to put Brandon Hagel. He's bounced back. The physicality we need 100%. So I think he's definitely earned the right to be on this team.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go with Nick Suzuki. Yeah. Good two-way forward, much like some of the other guys in the bottom 6. So we have to have him on the team. And then I'm going to go with Sam Reinhart. Obviously, he has to make the team.
Yeah.
And he's a great scorer, so I think he can fit in on that fourth line. And the extras are Braden Point, who has had a disappointing start, but he has to be on the team. And then Tom Wilson, if the games are very physical and we need to slot someone in, take out Reinhardt, we can put him in. So that's going to be my team for now.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
I would say I also agree with the idea of scratching Braden Point. The only thing is John Cooper's the head coach there. He's not scratching Braden Point.
I think he should. If he's serious about winning, he has to. Like he has to realize at some point.
Yeah. Unless Point picks
you can't let your bias get
to
you.
But I think it's so good to have Point on the team.
Oh no,
I think he should be on. I think he should be there because.
Not with 11 points in 21 games. You've played yourself off the team. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. I think he should be on the team.
He's still been
He's in the last couple of years. He's won a cup.
Player,
he has chemistry.
I don't care. If we're gonna go the experience route, might as well add Steven Stamkos.
Okay, but he's been bad for 2 years now.
Yeah, like
Point just had a bad season. Now his first 20 games.
I think
Point
is still like a good fit on the team.
Yeah,
even
Point's
with like
Point's gonna play.
Like remember last year, in the Four Nations last year when we had Point and when we had McDavid, and McDavid was struggling on a line with I think Marner and like Stone or something, or Marner and Reinhardt. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Point went in there and he played well. He had a good tournament, like
right, but that was.
But that's what Connor McDavid can do. He can make players, make bad players into good players, and make good players into great players.
It's not. I don't think it's the time for that at the Olympics. That's just my opinion.
I don't know.
Listen. If we're going the experience route, I 100% would rather have a guy like John Tavares who has the experience. He can score goals. But what's happened has happened. So
yeah, I agree.
He has to be on the team.
It's John Cooper's the coach there. There's no way he's not going to say, hey, Mike, we don't need you anymore. He's going to play him. He's going to play him. Hagel is going to play this guy 100%.
Right. You never know. They have a GM too. You know, the GM could say, hey, coach, listen, it's not working. Let's go. Come on, pick it up.
But like,
and
that
like,
he has a say in it for sure.
I agree. He does have a say, but still, 100%. Like,
we'll see though. I agree with you guys on that front. I have again for me, I have him in the lines just because I just think he's going to play him. That's the reason why.
That's a good point.
And again, it's the tournament's also in February. It's also December right now.
That's what I'm saying. We have to wait.
He has still 2.5 good months to pick it up and see what can happen with him. Right.
That's a pretty bad start.
He can still pick it up. You know, he's a talented guy. But let's move on to our second last segment, shoot or pass. George, you want to kick us off with that?
Yeah, I mean, on the subject of the Olympics and Team Canada, previously in our goalie predictions, I didn't mention a third goalie because I simply said I do not know who can be the third goalie is right now because there's so many different names and I do not know who it can be. I figured out who the third goalie is, and I think you can argue that he could even be a starter for the team, and that's Scott Wedgwood on the Colorado Avalanche. He's been playing absolutely unreal. I think there's no way that he does not make this team. Yeah. At least gets there. Will he play? I don't know, but he'll 100% has to be on that team.
Has Jordan Binnington played himself off the Team Canada?
No.
You don't think so?
Not yet.
That's a really good question.
Not yet. Actually. Just because like our goaltending isn't a strength, it's our big weakness to begin with. So, in that case, I'd say no. But I think we should consider starting Thompson. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my pick to
I
start
said that
right
from
now.
the beginning.
He should be there.
I said that from the beginning. Logan Thompson should be the starting goalie. He's top 3 in
because what we've seen from Binnington,
he should be the starter.
Is that
he should be there,
he had this
he's
like
gonna be there. 100%.
He hasn't really had a great season since that cup run, and then he just went crazy in that Olympics. He played out of his mind. So he's one of the guys who has actually shown that he can bounce back on a big stage. That's why it's a bit different. And obviously, we lack the goaltending depth.
I think
we don't
Binnington
lack forward
should
depth.
still be there, but I think Logan Thompson should be the starter.
I agree.
He should be the number 1 guy. If you need to go to Binnington, you can. I think it should look like something like Wedgwood and Binnington and Thompson. Thompson
Those
has
should
the
be
number
the
1 guy.
three.
Thompson, yeah, that'd be my theory.
The thing is, will they bring Thompson? I hope they do. They absolutely should because last year they should have.
They have to.
And I really hope that the backroom politics don't get in the way like it did last year. And again, like you mentioned earlier, if John Cooper wants to, or if at least the whole coaching staff and the management team, if they want to be serious about winning this tournament, they have to say, you know what, Brandon Point, you're not doing that good. Scratch him for now.
Yeah.
But come on the team, but scratch him.
Right.
If they want to win this and be serious about this tournament and win this gold medal, they absolutely have to bring Logan Thompson on board.
Yeah,
Christian,
they have to.
I see here your shooter pass. You want to talk about that?
Sure, I'll go right ahead. I think that considering the competition in the West, the emergence of the Ducks, who look like they're a solid top 3 team in that division, the Kings have found their footing, the Wild have found their footing. We're over a quarter through the season, and all these teams have found their footing except for the Edmonton Oilers, who have still been slow. Draisaitl is on pace in an 82-game pace for 94 points, which is excellent, but for Leon Draisaitl standards, it's low. So with that being said, and the disastrous goaltending situation, Pickard's been terrible. Stuart Skinner's been absolutely terrible. The depth scoring behind Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Hyman is at a decent start in his 8 games back. Draisaitl has been non-existent because last year in the playoffs they had guys like Perry, they had guys like Kapanen contributing. They don't have those guys contributing anymore. So with that being said, I think the Edmonton Oilers are going to miss the playoffs. I think it's collapsed.
I'm gonna have to pass on that. I can't shoot on that. That is to me that is kind of an outlandish take because you do have one of the best players in the world.
They have no depth.
You still have Connor McDavid.
Well,
I need water.
It's not too early anymore. It's not. We can't use the same excuse. So we're over a quarter through the season.
Well,
all these teams have found the Wild have struggled.
Okay, but you're saying the Panthers have a chance.
Yes.
But you don't think the Oilers have a chance to make the playoffs over the Panthers? The Panthers are like bottom 2 in the East.
I think it'll be harder.
Where are the Oilers right now?
I think
they're probably like just outside of a playoff shot, right?
I think it'll be harder to get in the West because, like I mentioned, the Ducks.
That's a good point.
Because before it was just.
But who knows?
It was a given. It's the Knights.
But who knows?
The Canucks.
But who knows? But they can fall off.
I don't think the Ducks are going to fall off. The youngsters,
the Kraken,
all of their youngsters.
The Kraken are in there right now. They can fall off.
The Kraken can fall off. Come on now. Are they going to keep up that pace?
No.
We always talk about
there's other teams that can step up.
We're early in the season. Can these teams keep the pace that they're putting on?
I mean,
I don't think so. I don't think so. Like,
listen,
I think they can.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
I think the Jets have a better chance to make it in.
They'll make it in, but they're also the Jets and the Wild are in the other division. So apart from the wild card spots, I think they're going to be okay, no problem. The Jets, I think, do get in the wild card because I think Minnesota, Dallas, and Colorado will be 1, 2, 3 in the Central.
So the Jets are the wild card. I have my top 3 in the
Jets
Pacific.
Wild card,
and
they're battling.
Who's your top 3 in the Pacific?
The Ducks, the Kings, and the Golden Knights because they all have much more depth than the Oilers. It's not even close.
That last wild card
Their
spot has to be the
goaltending
Warriors.
is 8,000 times better. Like that goaltending is a real liability, and they haven't shown any
That's
commitment.
that's
why.
But we're not even close to like February yet.
Yeah.
To say they're gonna miss
That's
the
crazy.
playoffs.
I think they're gonna miss the
That's sorry.
playoffs.
To say that
That's
they're gonna
absolutely
miss
ridiculous.
is like an extremely scorching hot take.
Now, one thing I will say is
I don't think it's that hard.
If they don't do absolutely anything from now until April, like nothing,
Yeah,
like, like no big
yeah.
trade, okay, maybe, but they have to do something, and if they don't, it's just a matter of time.
There's no guarantee.
Something's going to change, and they're going to start picking up the foot eventually. It has to happen.
I agree.
There's no way they're too good of a team to just miss like that. If it's like maybe like a point or 2 points, like and they like just barely lose up because Skinner things continuously. They don't get a new goal.
They have the worst goaltending in the league.
I know,
Their
but
defense has been lackluster.
Yeah.
McDavid's been good, but that's really
But
it.
I don't think
Their depth
eventually
is
they're
terrible.
gonna try to
And
fix that. They should at least.
having the lack of depth going forward in the season when guys are getting tired
That's the
out
problem,
is
too.
worse than having a lack of star power at the top because you need that depth
That's a
to
good
remain
point, too.
fresh.
true, but
fresh.
we've seen the Oilers make it to the finals without depth. Like, come on now.
No,
Yeah.
because guys have stepped.
Come
It's
on.
different.
Yeah, guys have
Captain
stepped
stepped
up.
up.
But you're
Perry
telling
stepped
me-
up.
Yeah, but you can. You,
They
people
don't
aren't
have
gonna
those
step
guys
up now.
anymore.
People
No.
aren't going to step up. Isaac Howard's not going to. Matt's what.
No,
you
I
don't know
don't
who's
think
going
so.
to
People are
step
gonna
up.
step up. Someone's gonna
you
step
don't
up
know
eventually.
who's going to step up. And
But
who's not
there's a
going
lot
to.
of the point being is that there's a lot of teams that have actually gotten out of their slow start, and they're like the Wild have gotten out. Virtually every team that made the playoffs last year that had a slow start has gotten out of their slow start, except the Oilers. They're still struggling. They're losing blowout games. It's like that game against Columbus. That's so demoralizing for a team. I don't think just because the emergence of some teams in the West, I think the Jets will figure it out because Hellebuck's going to be Hellebuck will come
they'll
back.
figure it out. Yeah.
They have goaltending.
Yeah.
We know Connor Hellebuck has had slow starts.
Yeah.
He's come back.
No, I'm not worried about the Jets.
Yeah, they're just
So
gonna figure it out.
I have 7 teams I'm fairly confident in. So just statistically, if we have another 4 teams competing for that last wild card spot, it doesn't look good for them. So that's why I think
I just
they're
think
probably
they're
going
the
to end up missing the
favorites to
playoffs.
make it.
I
out
will
of
say the pressure's definitely on because I do like your 7 teams and I do think that those 7 teams will probably make the playoffs as well unless someone has like a dramatic 10-game losing streak and someone gets hurt and then whatever. But that last spot has to be the Oilers.
I think it could be the Kraken,
Kraken.
No,
Kraken, whatever.
No, I'm sorry. That's not.
I think
I'm
it can
sorry,
be.
that's not
They have
happening.
the depth this year.
They had the depth with their best players, Jaron McCann. That's not happening. That's not happening. No,
They have
I'm
depth.
sorry.
Doesn't-
I'm sorry. No, that's just
Come
not
on,
going to
man.
happen.
They-
That's
they
just
went-
not
they
gonna
Who's their
happen.
went-
There's no way it's
goalie?
gonna
Who do they have
happen.
in net? Who they have?
They went. They went on
Because
that.
you're
They went
goal.
on that
Okay,
run. They
goal,
took
sorry.
Dallas to 7 a few years ago with nobody. Why can't they
That
do it
was
again?
like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And a lot has
They're
changed in
team
that locker
anymore.
room.
They're not that
since.
team
New
anymore.
coaches too.
They came almost last year. They were like
They are
near
not.
the bottom of
They've
the
they've
league.
had an amazing start.
If they get in,
Are
good
they
for
gonna
them.
keep it up? I don't think so. I don't.
Good
think
for
so.
them if
Sorry.
they do. But I don't think
so.
I don't think they're ready yet to make to
I
be
agree.
you know
Contending
I-
team
or
or playoff team.
yeah
At
a
that.
consistent playoff
Yeah.
team. That's what I mean.
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
I think they can sneak in.
I'm passing on that take because
Me too.
I don't think it's
Me too.
hard to pass on it. But
We'll
again,
see.
the blueprint of that being a possibility, I'm not rejecting that completely because it is.
It does make
It
sense.
can't like logically it can. It doesn't make sense. But just because they've been in the finals 2 years in a row, I don't like. No,
I don't think.
they're
I
too
don't think.
good.
I don't think
They
that
have the
means
2 best
much.
players in the world, or at least 2
Two
of the
of
top
the-
2 of the top 5 players in the world right
To
now.
the top. Yeah.
They're not gonna. No, there's
Yeah.
no way.
But the depth isn't. That's what I'm saying. I
just
know.
read-
I know they're good.
I just
The
read
depth
his.
is not
I just
there.
read his thing. I'd advise you cover that. And
Do you know my take?
What is it?
You didn't see it?
No.
Joe, share with them, please.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are not gonna make the NBA
Pass.
Finals.
Pass.
Pass.
That's
You are
ridiculous.
crazy. You are crazy.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
I want to hear. I want to hear.
Okay.
your
Okay. You
explanation.
want to hear my logic? I will
Who's
tell
gonna
you my
Who's gonna
logic.
beat them in 4 out of 7?
I will tell you my.
I want to hear explanation.
You guys almost lost last
Apart
year
from
to
injury.
the Pacers.
Apart from injury.
You
That was
guys-
last
and
year.
the
We're only
Thunder.
gonna get better.
And
that,
the
That
Thunder.
was last year.
I don't want to hear it. No. You base everything off last year. You
No, I
guys
did
lost.
not.
You guys.
I'm not-
No.
I'm literally
no,
saying,
No.
we're
if
not-
Halliburton
no,
didn't
no.
get injured last
I'm
finals,
saying
you
we're
could-
I
better.
agree.
I'm
I
saying
agree with
I'm
him.
saying we're
That I
better
agree
this
with.
year.
You are better. But,
They are better this year, yeah.
But
So
you
I'm
guys,
not basing
but
it
you
off
guys,
last year.
But you guys almost lost in 7 to Halliburton.
You would have lost if Halliburton didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was
You
a
would've
9-point
lost.
game, and he had 9 points.
It was a toss-up.
He had 3 threes in like 2 minutes.
He was going to have a historical Game 7. Probably like 40
He lost by
points.
9 points. He would have. He told me he would have had at least 20 points in that game, and they would have won.
Yeah.
20
Well,
points minimum. He had 9 points in the first 3
I
minutes.
think it's a toss-up.
So my point is with them not making the finals, and this is like the logic behind it, is that, you know, I don't see it. Like I don't see them getting out of the West this year. I don't know why, but there are too many.
You
There are
like
very good.
Luka Doncic too much.
There are too many good teams in the West. You have
That I agree with. There's a lot of good teams
you
in the
have
West, but
you
not
have the
good.
Nuggets. You have the Timberwolves. You know how good Anthony Edwards has been doing
all
lately?
teams that we beat.
He's been having some insane games. 40
see
points plus a game. And I'm sorry.
Shea's not having those games.
Yeah, he's not.
He's averaging much more than Edwards.
He's having he's not having those games. I don't know,
Okay.
man.
Okay, listen.
And
Okay, well, that's a once in a
and
while
right
game.
now,
You got to win 4 out of
Luka
7.
Doncic is playing like the best player in the world. That you cannot argue with that. I'm sorry.
He's
You
really
can
good.
you cannot
He's really
argue with
good.
that. I know they
As of
lost
now.
last game to the Suns, but the Suns played some great defense. I watched that game. But I still think that, you know, LeBron has something left in the tank for us.
Yeah, another
And
first round exit like
if the
last year.
Thunder and the Lakers play in the playoffs, that might be one of the best series that we're
yeah.
gonna see.
It'd be a great
That's gonna
series.
go 7.
It'd be a great
That
series.
is probably gonna be.
The Thunder are winning that series.
I think the Lakers could win that. Honestly,
No.
I've
don't
seen
see that at all.
I've seen LeBron
Honestly,
beat a
I don't either.
73 win team before, man.
Yeah, when he
That's
was in
a
his
good point,
prime, he's
too.
40 years old now.
And he
That's
has
a
Luka
good point,
Doncic. I'm sorry, bro. The MVP.
Okay.
Like he's gonna win MVP, bro. Like
There's Shea, there's Jalen Williams, there's
Okay,
Chet.
bro.
They have so much more depth
team
than the
is
Lakers.
so-
It's not even
the-
close.
you have the
They're so
second
deep.
best
They're
player
so
of all
deep.
time, arguably the GOAT of all time.
At 40 years old.
and
and
you have
they've
Luka Doncic in his prime.
And Luka Doncic in his prime and LeBron James, they lost in the first round last year.
And they
so.
have Jackson.
Luka
they-
Doncic wasn't on. He was
Their
in
center is
terrible
DeAndre
shape
Ayton.
last year. And DeAndre Ayton,
their
he's been
center's
balling. He's
DeAndre-
been balling.
But compared to Chet
He's been
Holmgren,
balling.
no.
But he's been balling still. DeAndre Ayton made a finals.
Okay,
With the
listen.
Suns.
One thing I do gotta
we
say
we
is that-
saw Luka Doncic play against the Thunder. It didn't go that good. Our defensive
That
system
was
is
one
too
game,
different.
bro. One game.
Exactly.
I don't know,
They're
man.
going to win
Exactly.
4 out of 7. Someone-
Yeah, no.
I think the
No
Lakers
one's
could be
beating the
that
Thunder,
team.
dude.
No.
No one's beating the Thunder.
You guys,
No,
hey,
they
you
won't
guys-
have the
you
endurance,
guys are
especially
not-
a player like LeBron at his age. He has the endurance to play at
Not
that high
even-
level. No.
Forget the Lakers for a second. There's no team in the West that okay. I will say, okay, before I say something outlandish here, there are a lot of good teams in the West. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that
of
they're going
course.
to they're not going to win 5 or 4 and against every single team in the West. No, because last year they went 7 against the Nuggets,
7 against the Pacers.
7 against the Pacers, of course. Obviously, that's the Eastern Conference, but still a very close
Do you guys
series there.
sweep that? No, you guys
It's-
beat the Timberwolves in 5.
They will have a
last year.
close
Yeah.
series
We
with.
swept the first round.
I think it will be a closer
you
series
guys play?
with the T-Wolves this time.
Memphis.
Memphis, yeah, that was I think I do think Minnesota are battle tested, and
Yeah.
they will give them something. The Rockets will give them something. The Nuggets will give them something. Maybe not 7 games again, but they'll at least make it close with them.
Yeah.
The Lakers will give them something. But at the end
I
of the
think
day, at the end all be all, the Thunder are the best team in the
The
West.
West
and they
is
will
going to
win
be a
all the
lot.
way.
Okay,
They
no,
will
I
go all the
agree
way
with
through.
you. The Thunder are a better team than they are last year, but the West is also a lot better than they
Yeah.
were last year.
But-
you cannot disagree with that. I'm sorry.
Barring an injury to someone
sorry.
crucial
A
on
few
the
a
Thunder,
few teams are, not overall.
barring a
few
crucial
teams are.
injury to anyone on the Thunder, they will win. Every single
But even if
series.
Williams gets injured or Holmgren gets injured, I still think we're the favorite to get out of that
For the
conference.
most part,
I don't know.
they've been
I don't
injured.
know, man.
They've been injured half the time so
I-
far.
I
Williams
just-
has been out the whole time. We're
okay,
still
we're talking
21 and
playoff
1.
injuries. Have you seen playoff Luka Doncic? Did you see him in 2024?
I don't
What
care.
numbers he was playing?
It's one player.
He carried the
They
Mavs.
don't have the depth to beat the
Still-
Thunder in 7
They
games.
don't. They don't.
They
I
don't
think
have
they
the
can.
system. They don't
I
have the
think,
depth.
I think they can
100%.
beat them.
No, I agree with Christian.
I think they can
no
beat
chance.
them. Speaking,
That
you know,
flies no
we
chance.
didn't even bring up Austin Reeves, who's been playing like
Great player,
He's been
but
balling lately,
they're-
like over 30 points.
I gotta say,
per
the
game.
Thunder's depth, their team is too good.
They've got-
They're too deep. There's just no way they lose to anyone, barring an injuries.
Unless
barring
Shea
injuries,
gets
that's the
injured,
only
then
way
we'll
that
have this
that can
discussion. But unless Shea gets injured, I don't think we can have this
I don't know.
discussion.
That take is absolutely impossible apart from injuries.
I think it can happen, but
from injuries.
You're
So
asking
that's
a team to win 4 out of 7 games against the Thunder.
Against
can.
that team.
I think they can.
And
man.
they've lost. they might not even lose like 4 games the whole playoffs.
I think they can. I don't know, bro. I'm just this is my take, but I think it's a legit possibility.
Hard pass.
I'm not saying that it
Sorry,
will,
Joe. Hard pass.
I'm not saying that that's 100% guaranteed because we can't guarantee anything, but I think that it can happen. But with that being said, let's move on to our final segment of the night.
The most important segment of the day.
The most important, yep, Christian.
Yes.
Christian, we've been doing pretty bad lately with our better than ice.
We've been doing
his
bad.
hit last time.
Yeah.
Mine hit last week.
Yeah, yours was awful.
Yeah,
Sorry, bro.
It was only like 6 points over. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't that too much over, but it didn't end well at all.
Yeah, the Ravens money line wasn't good either.
That was
okay. We have to get the people back on track.
Yeah. Don't worry, you can make money with us. You can make money.
No, I hope you haven't followed yet, but follow now. We've got a good parlay.
This one's actually pretty good. This one's
got something we like,
and it's simple as well.
Yeah, very simple. Simple. Okay, George.
All right. So,
what do you think?
First of all, this bet is going to be about the Raptors-Lakers game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Very, very, very big game for both teams, battling out for the top seeds in each conference.
I mean, the Thunder are going to get the top seed.
Regardless.
I have Scotty Barnes for 20+ points. I feel like all the time against the Lakers, he always plays really, really well and always has big scoring nights against the Lakers. And I want to go for at least 20. He averages 20 right now. I think he'll get at least 20 again.
Yeah.
In that game tomorrow night.
That's a simple take. I like it. Yeah. Honestly, I don't see anything wrong with that take. The Lakers' defense is not the best. So, I mean, he's probably going to get guarded by LeBron, but...
he always shows up against the Lakers, so
But, he's a baller, man. Scotty Barnes has been hooping lately. He can get to the rim. He's a 3-level scorer now, so, I'm going to go with the guy, the Don, Luka Doncic, 30+ points.
Your boy.
Wow.
I mean, is that a bad take? Is that a bad take?
No.
No.
That's not a bad take. That's probably free money.
With quickly guarding him, is that quickly's like what 6'2"?
Yeah.
He'll get 30.
I mean, no. Scotty will probably be guarding him. Let's be realistic.
Yeah. It could be him or Ingram.
I think you have to let Scotty
one of those
guard
guys.
him.
I think Scotty has to guard him.
Yeah, probably Scotty and then Ingram on LeBron or something like that.
So then I'll go with my pick considering the injury. So I'm gonna have to go Brandon Ingram 20+ points. I think he's got to be the guy to step up there.
Yeah.
And especially if they want to win that game, he has to step up.
Yeah, he has to get 20+. Barnes needs 20+ as well. They need their top guys to step up to win that game. It'll be a difficult game, but I think they can win it.
I think they can too. It's gonna be a really close game. It should be a fun one.
At home as well, yeah.
Yeah, 2 of the top 3 seeds in each conference, I think, right? So it's gonna be a really good matchup, right? But yeah, with that being said,
we'll see what
that's
happens
gonna
there.
end
That's
up.
gonna be a very, very good game.
Be it for us today. Make sure, please check out our other socials. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Spotify. We're also on Apple Podcasts. So if you don't have Spotify, you can check us out there. It'd be much appreciated. And subscribe, like, comment. If you have any suggestions, please let us know. We're all ears. We're willing to talk about anything.
Yeah.
And I'll hand it off to George for the outro.
I mean, he's still have a good chunk of the outro there for me, but I appreciate that. I mean, I think you know what happens from this point on. I'm George. That's Joseph. That's Christian. We're the Spread Podcast, and we're out of here.